Hello there, so I want to talk to you today about a shamanic practice for the Toltecs, and it's called not doing. And I've been alluding to this lately, but I want to go into it deeper, because it seems to be such a significant practice to do. So the whole thing about not doing it doesn't even work, because it does involve doing something, but this is translation, I think. The issue is an activity that is suitable for not doing is anything which is not essential to life, not part of what you need to do to stay alive. It needs to be something that it really helps if other people can regard this to be absurd. So as I am where I am, a simple example could be going into a place in nature and finding a tree and just putting your arms around it. Or it could be deciding to do 3.5 press-ups every day. Or it could be picking a book up randomly out of your shelf and just reading the first 3 sentences. It can be as ridiculous as you like. My favourite is hopping on one leg. That was brought to our awareness by Dr. Vernon Coleman in the times of the bollocks. That was really very entertaining in 2020. He came up with hopping on one leg. But the thing is, this is not something that other people tell you to do. This has to come from you. That is the nature and the seat of its power. So the idea is that by engaging in a practice, it could be going up to a tree and picking up a leaf and getting a ballpoint pen and making 3 dots on the leaf. You could do that once a day. It could be anything at all. Maybe you're opposed to eat baked beans every day, and the first mouthful of the baked beans you only put 3 beans on the fork. I hope you get my point. They can be really absurd, ridiculous. And I guess that's the thing for me, because when I first encountered mantras, I thought people that did mantras were just figures of fun, really. And yes, I arrive in Glastonbury and I'm given this opportunity to start working with mantras, and 100,000 repetitions later, well, plus an extra 10 days, so it was actually 101,080 repetitions, I finally woke up and, oh my goodness me, you've actually done this thing. So doing anything in a way by which you are developing unbending intent is of inestimable power. Because one of the main things that humans do to weaken themselves is by saying they're going to do something and then not doing it. And there's often really good reasons why we don't do it. It might not be relevant anymore. If you're offering someone help, maybe they don't want it. It could be any possible thing that could be why we don't always follow through. So to choose something you're doing purely for your own internal process, you don't need to tell people about this. You might choose to, you don't need to. And keeping on doing it, come what may. That was the thing I found about doing it. So there were times I was doing my mantras and it's like, I am feeling really out of it. I am absolutely exhausted. I'm feeling very ill. I can remember there were times when I had laryngitis and I couldn't speak. And that was an interesting one. I thought, oh God, you can't speak. What about the mantras? What are you going to do? So I simply whispered them 108 times each one. So it meant I was still staying true to my word. This is such a great thing. And as I've put in my mantra film, the first 5 times resulted in abject failure. And that was really helpful too. Something else so underestimated in life. If you repeatedly fail at something, this is brilliant. Because what it's doing is it's developing that unbending intent. In fact, I would say it was my 5 failures to do the Ganesh mantra for a mere 40 days that is what propelled me on this path. So I'm so grateful for this. So shamanic practice, Toltec practice, not doing, choosing something, It's not a life process, it's something you're choosing extra and above and beyond. And I'm really surprised because we are approaching the middle of October, and I thought I'd be coming out here to show you England in autumn, and it's really not visible yet, apart from the leaves that have fallen onto the track, the path. Otherwise it's very hard to tell. So that's something I very much want to share with you. So I would say that there are so many benefits I have achieved as a result of this mantra. It's just ever so interesting that this spiritual tradition basically says you get some kind of a superpower. And so the superpower I've got, as I can recognise as a shaman, is the fruits of unbending intent. It does create great personal power. That's wonderful. However, there's a lot more that's going on, and the next thing I go to is the power of the word with this. Because with the power of the word, what we are doing is we are literally bringing into creation whatever it is that we choose with our words, which is why shamans are ever so careful about the choices of words they take. So for example, sometimes I hear people say things like, I can't, ... and they list the things they can't do, or can't feel, or can't whatever. And when I hear people doing that, I feel a pang of sadness, because I realise they're just literally signing their own metaphorical death warrants with the I can't. And I've tried it out myself. There have been times when I've just felt like playing around, and there's other times it's been totally genuine, and it's like, shit, I can't find the such and such. And I'll tell myself that, and I'll go looking and looking and looking, and it's like, guess what? That's right, I don't find it. And I completely let go, and there it is. So this is a little quirk about the mantra I've just done, is that when the 100,000 repetitions actually occurred, I had stopped being aware of counting 87,000, 92,000, 93,000. I was really aware of getting quite close to the target, and then I just forgot all about it. So what is so cool for me is that, having had this understanding and this insight, yes, okay, that's right, I've done it. And then to be able to look back over recent weeks and to see what a strange time it's been. And yeah, there's been issues, there's been pains, there's been this, there's been that, and yet, nonetheless, despite all that, what I have been experiencing is a succession of so many things that I have not been able to achieve. Obstacles, if you like, that in the past actually have defeated me. I'm just overcoming them all, one by one by one by one. And every time it's another one, just overcome that one. Oh, just overcome that one. Can you imagine how it makes the person feel? They feel like, wow, this is incredible, look what I'm achieving. I feel so good about myself, because actually these things that I had all these blocks about, now I'm doing them. So what I say that goes for that, this is to do with the power of the word, because the power of the word implicit in Om Kshipra Prasadaya Namaha is the removal of all obstacles. And it's beautifully ironic, and as my friend Bruce reminded me, who's been immersed in all this for so many more decades than me, made the point, there's something truly magical when one takes on this practice, because by declaring this intent, there comes a point when you're actually, as well as removing obstacles, you're also attracting new ones. And that like seems, oh wow, that's terrible, oh I don't want to do that, oh that's counterproductive, oh I don't like that, I feel a bit nervous about that, but just let go, just relax. That's part of the journey. So this 930 odd days I've been doing it for without a break, it's been so extraordinary. Sometimes it's really late at night and I've come in absolutely exhausted and threw myself down on the bed, throw the cover over myself, and I lie there, and 5 or 6 minutes elapse, and suddenly it's as if I've just received an electric shock. Mantras. You haven't done your mantras today. And I get up and I go and find my beads. Proper name is Mala. And I do my mantras, and it's like, yeah, even this state of extreme exhaustion and lateness and sleepiness, that's not stopping me. It's that sense of becoming unstoppable. I guess that is the gift of the Toltec Shamanic practice of not doing, of the Hindu and Vedic tradition, spirituality from Mother India, of chanting and singing mantras. It all relates. And I've got a lovely droning aeroplane overhead at the moment, which I'm sure I won't be able to see. So all love to you, and I'll stop. Bye for now.